Hello everyone, today we killed Mythic Mugsy, and on this boss I finally played Arms. Now, on this boss I did play a different spec. You might remember from my Season 2 updates video that I did talk about this build, but this is the Slayer build with Ravager instead of Bladestorm, which means that Brutal Finish and Overwhelming Blades, those two hero talents, they just simply don't work at all. But what makes this build better than Bladestorm on this boss, I think, is the fact that Ravager's execute damage is higher than Bladestorm. And it's only the last phase, the 40% to 0%, that really matters on this boss. So any damage that you deal above 100%, above 40%, is kind of irrelevant because you'll usually be holding DPS anyway to get the right transition. So the build that I played was this, and this was my gear at the time. It was 672, and I suppose the stats are okay. But yeah, this is just the gear that sims the best for me. I have tried to sim my energy drink versus pacemaker, and the energy drink wins. So yeah, not much more to say about the gear, so let's get straight into the fight. So here we go. I'm going to use all my cooldowns on pull. And so I do a Rend into Roar, Ravager, and the rest of my cooldowns. And I am using my initial execute slightly early as well, because using my sudden death procs is the only way for me to apply overwhelmed to my targets. Because if you play Bladestorm, then Bladestorm takes care of those. Takes care of that. He gives you full stacks straight away. Playing Opportunist as well, which means that overpower procs that give you opportunist buffs are very high priority. So I do a pre-sweep there, actually. So when you soak one of these circles here, this is actually one of the Rocketeers leaping in. And I know that shortly after a Rocketeer is leaped in, it will jump to where the raid is. So that's why I sent a pre-sweep there. And also, I didn't mention, but I do have improved sweeping strikes. You can definitely play without improved sweeping strikes as well and just take Bloodborne instead for a very slight single target increase. But I felt that it was just nicer to have improved sweeping strikes because it made your sweep windows much more forgiving and flexible. You could usually cover everything with it. So I am using the Arms sudden death weak aura. You just place a sound whenever the conditions are met for when you need to be pressing your execute with sudden death. And this is the jail as well. I did get targeted by the jail, which sucks, and I didn't get a Juggernaut refresh here, so well, that is what it is. You're gonna have to get used to that if you play Arms or Slayer Arms in general. So for my second set of cooldowns, I do like to hold them very slightly just to sweep them on this ad. So I'm going to Roar now, sweep early. The Storm Fury Finger is going to break the shield now. And I get to do some free sweeps on the ad, and I also sweep some executes from the ad onto the boss to get more boss damage as well. And also gets me some Juggernaut stacks. So sometimes if my Juggernaut is about to expire, I will charge this ad and execute it once or twice just to refresh my Juggernaut. Yeah, you saw me do that there. And also every time a set of mines spawn, I tend to do a dive with the sword just to take less damage. And also if you accidentally do walk into a mine, which can easily cause a raid wipe, if you're not supposed to be walking into them, you actually parry the physical portion of the mine hit, which means you actually survive soaking one of them. So definitely don't recommend accidentally walking into them, but at the very least, if you have Dab the Sword up, you don't die from it. But Dab the Sword is always useful there anyway, because the raid does take a decent amount of damage during that time. So again here with the soak here, the Rocketeer is going to leap in. And I do a sweeping strikes about now. The Rocketeer comes in now. And I'm just going to send my Ravager early just to get it out. And then I'm executing, trying to get an extra execute. I think I actually got it. And just doing normal buttons. So here comes another set of jails. I'm not assigned to any of these. So here I do want to just send my cooldowns as soon as. I'm going to hold this Colossus Smash if I remember correctly, just so I can use it with this set of cooldowns. So Roar now, Colossus Smash, and then Avatar. At this point, this feels like an okay pull. I definitely had better pulls than this so far, but I had the first jail after all, and RNG has just been okay as well. So I do get targeted by the frost boots here, which means I need to aim the arrow through a wall, otherwise I die. So Bloodbag here is also targeted by one, and I see him, well, I see him there, right? Let me just replay that real quick. So I kind of see him slowing down here, so I'm just like, oh, he's probably planting there, so I'm gonna go for this wall. But then he moves along with me as well, and, well, we both have an arrow. I die, he survives. It's unfortunate. They rest me, but yeah, that's not very good for me. And also I wait a little bit just to make sure it's safe, because I couldn't see where the rest was. So I use it now. I asked, is it safe to take? All my momentum lost, but it is what it is.
He goes to the boss of mines. Mines in 2, 1, ready to soak.
So here comes another set of mines. So I do go for the soaks that aren't too far out of the way, or if I'm nervous about any of them, you know, any that far away, I'm also looking out for them. I've done a few sort of last second leaps just to save some soaks. I actually shouldn't have charged this thing. I was because he said stop on boss, I just went, okay, I'll just charge this Rocketeer and try and get some Juggernaut stacks on that. But what I like to do is, if they do call to stop DPS at this point, I just go and charge to that mob over here straight away and start executing it. But because I decided to do so late, it just ended up being a wasted charge and wasted up time.
And hold, please hold for a little bit. I'm cool in 3, 2, 1, go.
And here comes the transition. This is where damage starts to matter, and that's why we, well, that's why we're sending Lust here. I'm holding my what's it called? My Colossus Smash a little bit, and I'm trying my best, or hoping that my sudden death procs are good so that I can refresh my Juggernaut and keep it going all the way into execute phase. So I start execute phase with 11 stacks of Juggernaut. Once he's done his first charge, that's when I send all of my cooldowns and go for it, because that's when he's usually below 35% and I can get my executes out.
2, 1, right. And this ends in 3, 2, 1, yeah. And next we bar charge to the left. And 2, 1, left.
I like to leap that last one. I should actually go through that. So that's the last Bullet Storm. So let's go through that intermission one more time. So for the first charge, he's going to charge very soon.
Charge.
Right. So first charge, I like to roar while he's when he's about to go charge, and then I Ravager mid charge, and then use the rest of my stuff. One thing you got to be really careful about before you send this charge is that you don't charge while he's charging, because if you charge while he's charging, it's very possible that you end up inside of the boss's hitbox and then you get killed by the Bullet Storm. So you can safely charge once the boss has reached his destination. So this one is right, but it's only a small charge, a small leap. It's going to go here-ish. I tend to just use my my Sprocketmonger cloak just to reach him very fast. You can also charge, I guess, but I think just walking to him at this point is fine. And then this final charge is a really long charge. This one I like to leap and then maybe follow up with a charge as well. Sometimes a leap alone is enough.
Ends in 3, 2, 1, now.
So I've already climbed up a little bit on the DPS because I was really far down. Obviously because of that death.
Rallying cry in
So
3.
using dab with the sword here as a defensive. Rallying cry as well as assigned.
3, 4.
I think we missed a couple of soaks, or 1 or 2. No, probably if we missed 2, then we probably would have wiped them. I feel like we missed 1. Took a lot of damage there. So I am assigned to a jail here. We're using Liquid's weak aura pack, so we can see this little weak aura here shows me where I'm supposed to be going. This green circle here. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 behind outside of the camera here. So front left, that's where I'm going now. And here, I've just got to pray that I get a sudden death proc to extend my my Juggernauts. And I do get it, which is great. If possible, though, the raid leader should probably try and keep you outside of the jails, just so you can keep your Juggernauts going guaranteed. But for some reason, it wasn't really doable for us here. So here, it's actually, here you have a good chance to do a lot of DPS, actually. So all my cooldowns are already here. I'm just going to wait for the Storm Fury finger to go out first to break these shields, and then I can sweep executes for free onto these ads, which is a lot of damage.
In 3, 2, 1, you do so.
And because Ravager is casting Mortal Strikes, of course, I can just spam executes, because the Mortal Strikes will consume my executioner precision stacks.
Get close, just to healing here. Give it out. We have mines coming in 7 seconds. Please be either on boss or like further away.
This is really where your TPS will spike. I think the best pull I ever had was like 2.9, nearly 3 million at this point. But obviously we're not reaching those heights here. So I do get the frost mechanic here as well. So I walk into a fire, I use my Sprocket Monger cloak to just to move a little bit faster, just to be safe. And then just making sure not to walk into a mine, and boss is dead. Loot is crap, it is what it is, but the dead boss is dead. And I think next time we go on this boss, maybe I'll have better luck. But I'm quite confident in this Ravager build. I tried Bladestorm for quite a lot before I did end up trying this Ravager, and I was like, oh wait, this Ravager thing actually feels really good on this boss. So I definitely recommend giving it a try. Try both, see how you feel. But Ravager is better for the execute phase. So yeah, that's where the damage matters. So anyway, that's all I got for this video. Hope this was helpful. I will see you next time when we kill Galliwix as well.